Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to give you guys a video where I show you my life through my cards. It's kind of like a draw my life thing, but with a lot less of those details and more so of what I've done outside of my normal life with collecting cards. I started very early. I started right when I came to Canada when I was 7 years old, and it's something I've kept doing right about until I started streaming full time. And I think it'll be an interesting adventure, and I'll show you guys some of my history through collectible card games, because it is quite extensive. This is what I got. This is OP hero sets. Oh my god, those must be all Jaina's, right? All Malfurions. No, those are overpowered cards. You got Overpower whatever and missions. You got Overpower Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering commons, Magic the Gathering rares, favorites, and Marvel versus Heroes, and a bunch of extras there. Look, actual Hearthstone cards, look at that. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Now, the first thing I started collecting, as I mentioned, were the Marvel Masterpiece cards. I highlighted these in one of my other videos, the video where I kind of talked about, sponsored games and stuff. A lot of people thought I wasn't genuine about my interest in some of the stuff. This is the 1994, focusing might be a bit of an issue in this video. This is 1994 Marvel Masterpieces. I picked these up when they came out, and they're some of the coolest cards ever. About a year after, maybe a year and a half or so, I started collecting Overpower cards. I found them at the card store where I got those, but I also found them like post offices and stuff. I think there were a lot of clearance. The thing that made Overpower cards very interesting were that they were cheap. I didn't have very much money back then. Just came to Canada, new immigrants and all that. Who has money to spend? Who do we pick up here? We got Deadpool. So these are actually totally alphabetized. These are like the hero cards in Overpower. I never actually learned how to play Overpower. I just kind of made different games with a few of my friends, usually playing off of my cards. But you can tell I had a lot of these cards. And I had a lot, again, because they were really cheap. At the end of my collection, I was picking up like Overpower cases off of eBay for next to nothing. These cards are really cool. They just look really cool. I just really fell in love with everything Marvel back then. I started with like bubblegum stickers and stuff, and very soon after that with the Marvel Masterpieces, into the Overpower cards. A lot of the same ones, but I do have a lot, and I don't really want to ruin the order. Oh my god. I think after that we got Daredevil. Let me see if we can pick up some cool ones here. Where are we going? Where are we going? Ooh, Magneto. Magneto's a good one. I know from the Overpower cards, the strongest hero card was Galactus, but I never picked up Galactus. Magneto. A lot of these guys had multiple heroes, and I believe Magneto is one of them. Yeah. Different hero card. Later on in the Overpower cards, they started adding the intellect stat. You see the base set, it had the energy, fighting, and strength. And they added the intellect stat in one of the later sets. But yeah, I remember at the very end of collecting Overpower cards, I picked up like a case of like 10 boxes for like $80 off of eBay. Like they were next to nothing. Mandarin. Mojo, remember that? Yeah, you do if you watched like 90s X-Men cartoons. I definitely watched all of those. Every single Marvel cartoon, I watched it. It was, who was it? Longshot was the big hero in the Mojo universe. I got him somewhere here as well. I think my favorite from that time were the Silver Surfer cartoons. Those are just amazing. Black Widow, Puppet Master. A lot of these are a bit obscure. In Overpower, you had like these energy cards, and the art on these is actually excellent. You see there, it's Wolverine fighting some webbed adventure. My guess is like Spider-Man or something. You had team-up cards. You had these mission cards that were pretty cool. And pull some out here. Colossus. Got a Gene one. They're a little bit stuck together, but they're generally in pretty good condition considering the fact that I've had these for more than 20 years. Does it say the year they were released? These are from 1996, I believe. Yeah, 1996. So, yeah, I've had these for a while. I have lost a number of cards. Most of the cards that I've lost were Magic cards and a few Pokemon cards. It's just we were moving and I had to leave some stuff I wasn't using in storage. And the place that we used was a relative's basement, and their basement flooded. I don't think I lost too much stuff of value, but it's hard to tell because, you know, when you go back that long, sometimes those things gain a lot of value. It's got Vision. These are more Overpower cards. There's a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards here, and it starts with the Pokemon stuff. I didn't move from Overpower to Pokemon cards. Moved from Overpower cards to Magic the Gathering. I have a few old cards. When I started collecting Magic, I don't know what the newest set was, but you know, I have, let's see, a random here. Oh, that's a good one. Look at that. We got Mirage card. Chaos Sphere. Damn, that's a cool card. Yeah, when I started collecting, I know Weatherlight was available. I know they were still selling 4th edition, so there was a lot of like very early stuff available. And they didn't have like the Urza's block even. I collected a little bit of that. I didn't have that many Magic cards because Magic cards, unlike Overpower cards and like a lot of the other cards, they were relatively expensive actually. So, you know, I like Magic. I played a little bit, but because they were expensive, I didn't get very many. So I collected Magic around that time, 4th edition, Weatherlight area. And I have a number of cards from those sets, some of them relatively valuable, I guess. But after a while, this Pokemon thing came up. I really liked the TV show. I was watching the TV show like every single time it was out. First season was amazing. The first Pokemon thing that I saw that was absolute crap was the first movie. I thought that was like pretty lame. So I started with the Pokemon cards. I have a lot, but I have most of the good ones set aside for a little bit later. I'll show you guys that stuff. So I had a pretty good Pokemon collection. I was a little bit foolish because I picked up a lot of first editions because I started collecting right away. But a lot of those first editions I would sell to my friends to just buy more packs. So like I sold 2 first edition Charizards, and you know, with the money I'd make, I'd just buy more packs. And I had a lot of just whatever Pokemon cards. There's just some weird stuff here. What is this even? Oh geez, I don't even remember that. Like what? Dude, this is high tech for the 90s. All right. Damn, dude, Gambit's going to town. I remember the Iceman one. The Iceman one is sick. Look at that. These are just like whatever Marvel cards. I'll get to these in a bit. These were cool. I think these are from a 1993 set. Yeah, I think I got those off a vending machine. We lived downtown at the time. I think it was Dundas Mall vending machine. Well, a few DC cards. Not very much DC stuff. I like DC. I like anything superhero, but I don't know. I had a special connection with the Marvel stuff more so. When I was in 5th grade, one of my friends showed me this thing. I had some Pokemon cards started, but he showed me his collection of Battletech. Battletech is the Mech Warrior collection. It was very hard to get cards. I think I got just a few packs, and mostly I would trade him a few Pokemon cards I didn't want for his Battletech collection. So that was pretty cool. I have a few cards that I liked. They had a Battletech show back then that I very much liked, and I was pretty big on Legos, so I'd make Battletech mechs out of my Legos, and dude, I was a total boss doing that. So, Magic the Gathering commons. There's so many. Like, geez, look at that. Orcish Oriflame. From what is that? That might be an unlimited one. I don't know. It's a terrible cut, though. That thing's totally worthless. But yeah, I got a lot of these. When I started collecting Magic cards, I'd go to the Magic card shop with like a few quarters, and they had like that like stack of Magic cards, and you drop a quarter in there, and you get like 3 to 10 cards, and they were mostly complete crap. But I remember I got a Leviathan from one of those, and when I was like a kid, this is like when I first started collecting Magic, I don't know, maybe 1996, something like that, 97. I got a Leviathan, and I couldn't believe. Let me see if I can show you guys here. There, this is Leviathan. Couldn't believe the stats. That's a 10-10. Holy cow. Crazy, right? When you don't know how to play a game, and the numbers are big, and you're young, you think the card is super amazing. Well, Leviathan was super shit. I think the original was lost in the flooded basement thing, but I picked up Leviathan in one of the Time Spiral cards, and yeah, it brought back some memories, so I kept that one. It was a pretty good one. There's a lot of Magic rares here. I have quite a history with Magic the Gathering. I played for a really long time, but, I've voiced it in the past. Let's see here, these are some of my sleeved cards. I used to have them all in binders, but, when you don't play anymore, it's too inefficient. Grinning Demon, I really, really like that card. Cover of Darkness is a great card. I had a lot of decks. My main gripe with Magic the Gathering was I'd spend so long... Oh, I love this card, Solitary Confinement. I played Battle of Wits with, it was a card that you couldn't play any cards, and at the start of your turn, you'd pick an enchantment from your deck and put it into play. So you'd play that, and you'd get Solitary Confinement, and then you'd get Dovescape, so no one can play spells, and then you'd get Battle of Wits, so nothing could remove Battle of Wits. This was a T2 deck at the time. It beat all the tournament decks, but again, the thing I didn't like about Magic is it took me too long to get the cards for any decent decks, and I'd make an event out of it. I'd try to gather my friends, and No Mercy, that's a cool card. Look at that. I'd get my friends together, and we'd play, and we'd do that maybe every week or two a month. But we'd spend so much time preparing, buying, researching, all this kind of stuff. And in the end, I'd maybe get like 10, 20 games in with whatever deck I wanted from any given block. It's just extremely inefficient. I really love Covetous Dragon. I had like a dragon deck. Focus seems to be my enemy here. There we go. That's a cool card. Just the time you put into the game, it was so inefficient to how much you actually played. Blistering Firecat. Believe it or not, that was a really good card when it came out. Yeah. Mogcatcher. Sylvos. Damn. There we go. Onslaught Sylvos. Unbelievable stats at the time. Might even be still pretty good, but I don't know. I think Magic has power crept quite a bit. I got Rancors. I pulled, I think, all but one of these. I was pretty happy about that. I don't know, let's fast forward here. We got some old-ass Lightning Bolts. Those are pretty cool. Undead War Chiefs. Oh, here we go. I really like the Unglued sets. I think the Unhinged, I only got like a couple of packs, but the Unglued ones are really cool. And they were, at least where I was getting, they were cheaper than the regular packs. So I got a number of them. Most of the cards are obviously worthless because you couldn't play with them, but I just really liked cards. I really liked interesting cards. I like to make crazy combo decks, and sometimes those crazy combo decks would work out very well. Most of the time when I played Magic the Gathering, I played... Oh, we got a Desert! Damn, that thing's probably worthless. Yeah. Ravenous Ballast. Golden Rare. Crazy, right? Well, that's about as rare as cards got back then. I know today they have like mythics and stuff. Got a few hippies. This is probably the oldest one. I don't know, it might be unlimited. I don't recognize cards that well to tell. I'm sure some of you guys do. Darkar Valkyrie. This card was straight busted at that time. Got a full art Fireball. A lot of cool stuff. My most valuable cards, I had some Tarmogoyfs. Bought them for like $6 when they came out. I don't know where they are though. Couldn't really find them. I really liked Magic drafting. I was really good at drafting. I was, let's see if I can get a few more sleeved cards here. I made a wizard deck. I'd go like first, second, or third every Friday Night Magic. And that's how I'd build up my collection largely. Broodstar. That card was so crazy, and it came in a starter deck then. My last Friday Night Magic, I was just wrecking everybody. I was one game away from winning, and my opponent, he said, like, your deck's too consistent, let me count your cards. He counted my deck, and instead of 40 cards, there were 35 cards. I had no idea where the 5 cards were, and apparently that disqualified me, and he accused me as a cheater and all that, and obviously I had no intention of cheating. It's ridiculous. So I just felt super shitty about that, and I never did Friday Night Magic after that one. Persecute, Mother of Runes. I really like these refund cards from Saga block. Palinkron. 7 cost 4/5 flyer. When it comes to play, untap up to 7 lands, and with 4, you can return it to your hand, so you could use crazy overpowered lands again and again. Crazy, right? Yeah, Magic, much like a lot of the other card games, their late game cards were really busted. Oh, here's Cataclysm. Dude, this card is awesome. This is probably my favorite removal. I bought, I highlighted in one of the other videos, I bought a World Championship deck. It was like a deck that highlighted Imperial Armor and like Armageddon and stuff, and Cataclysm. It was like, put a guy into play, buff the crap out of him, and Cataclysm all your opponent's stuff away. And it actually worked out pretty well. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. So, actually no, I think these are the good Magic cards. These have some value to them. These are from Unglued. These are like the tokens. I have a decent number of them. The BFG. Where is it here? Yeah. This is a 99.99 minion that costs 15 straight black mana. And it's 2 cards. Yeah? Pretty cool, right? I never saw the other side, but whatever. Black Lotus! Oh. No, it's Blacker Lotus. Whoa! No, yeah, it's not worth anything. Now my Shivan Dragon. I was really happy to have this card. Just Shivan Dragon is such a cool card. Yeah, there's a bit of focus better. It's a classic Shivan Dragon. I got my fair share of promo cards. I did trade a lot of them. Again, I did attend lots of Friday Night Magics. Got Niv Mizzets. Gifts and Given was part of the Battle of Wits deck that was unstoppable. I beat all the championship decks that people played online. I played on like Magic Workstation, other stuff like that. The official Magic client was just garbage back then, so I think it still is. I don't know. I haven't played in a while. Got some Gilded Lotus. Card's pretty good. Had 4, but I don't know. I don't know where these cards went. Coat of Arms. Obviously, the originals are so much better. I never really liked the new art. See how they changed the cards? The one on the right is the new card format. The one on the left is the old. I found the old just so much more appealing. It really put me off when they changed that, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I got my playset of GTs. Umezawa's Jeet. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, this card was like 20 bucks back then. It was absolutely crazy busted. So I picked up some before people realized it. Promo Sengir. Most of the promo cards I kept were just kind of like iconic to me. Like I remember when I was in like middle school and you know, people just, they had their decks based on whatever kind of random cards they had. That's an old one. Ice Age, not bad. You know, people brought their like blue decks, just a bunch of counter spells and no real win conditions. And there was one guy that brought a deck that was very strong with like hippies and Sengirs. I don't know. Brushlands. Ooh, Yavimaya's Hollow. That's a cool card. Got a couple of those. Always like the lands that have like additional effects. A few of the new cards. I have very few new cards. I don't even know what the set's called. I went to a pre-release session for these. Just pick them up, whatever. I don't know. That's a good one. Minamos. And here I have some of the other cards. Oh, some of the more valuable Pokemon cards, I guess. It's a Mew. Promo Mew. Wow, look at that. First edition Pikachu. Got some Gyarados action. Those are pretty cool cards. Got some roughed up Venusaur, Blastoise, Machamp, and what's that? Background-less Machamp? Oh my god. What's that? Oh, crazy, right? Yeah, some of my friends in middle school back then, they presented to me, I don't know if it was Machamp, I think it was actually a Zapdos. I don't think it was that Zapdos, I think it was the other Zapdos. Anyway, they showed me a card with no background, and they said it's like crazy valuable. And I'm like, holy crap, it must be crazy valuable. I traded them, basically got hosed, got sent to Hose Town, and I asked them how they got it, and they basically told me, they sprayed some Windex on the card and took a toothpick and very slowly rubbed out all of the background. So I gave it a try, and that's the card I have now from that experience. Completely ruins the card, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Middle school ripoffs seems to be like a pretty good one. Raichu, got another first edition Pikachu. This is from, I don't know, Jungle Set, whatever it is. Alakazam, first edition Pidgeot, first edition Vileplume, first edition Mr. Mime. I had a lot more first editions, but again, I used to sell the valuable cards just to buy more cards. So in the end, I had a lot more cards, so I can play with them, collect all the Pokemon. But in the end, I kind of hosed myself not keeping a lot of the good first editions. First edition Hitmonchan, I think, is one of the most valuable cards I have. Got first edition Mewtwo, Pidgeotto, Ivysaur, Wigglypuff. A lot of cool ones. Really like Pokemon. Kind of dropped off Pokemon after a while, but it was fun. The games were really good. I had like Game Boy emulators and stuff. I think I got some of my good Battletech cards here. I don't think any of these are worth anything, but in the show, the big bad guy, he had a Daishi Prime. So there you go, Daishi Prime. Lots of stats. Is it good? I don't know. Madcat Prime, I think it's one of the strongest medium mechs. I don't know exactly how to even play Battletech anymore, but I think that was important back then. We got Daishi B, we got Awesome, we got Loki, we got Masakari Prime, Ronda's Highlander, Linebacker B, Hatchet Man. This is the one that I made out of Legos. Hatchet Man was the mech that the good guy had in the show. I really like that. Thor C, Atlas, Blackhawk Prime, Masakari A. There's a lot of Masakaris on the PlayStation 1 Battle Mech Warrior game. Really like those games too. I played a lot of those. These are just lands. These are all lands. This is like my draft box. I'd take that with me. I got some Hearthstone cards. Whoa! I got some more Hearthstone cards and stuff. They give them out at BlizzCon if you're somebody, I guess. Whatever. Nobody cares about that. All right. These are the cards I really liked. I tried to highlight them in the last video, but I kind of rushed through a little bit. So again, the Marvel Masterpieces were like my favorite cards. And they were the first cards that I ever had. So every pack, you'd get like a signed card. I think it was every pack. So you could have like a Human Torch without the signature. Like, if we go a bunch of cards deep. Oh yeah, okay, so Firestar. So, you could have a Firestar with a signature if it happened to be like the one card in the pack that was the signature card. So that's why some of them have signatures and some of them don't. A Human Torch signature card is probably my favorite card that I own. I think it's worth like less than like $1. It's probably less than a quarter. It's worth absolutely nothing. But to me, this is worth a lot. Like through these Magic cards and stuff, I've had like Mox Diamonds, I've had Tarmogoyfs, stuff like that. I've thought about like selling it, but I don't need the money. These cards are worth more to me as they are now, regardless of how much they're worth to someone else. So that's why I haven't really sold anything in a really long time. Human Torch. got Storm signature card. We got Captain America signature card. Wolverine. Cyclops. Damn, that's a cool art. The Thing. Oh. Got Beast signature card. Doom 2099. Dr. Doom is so cool. Got Odin. Looks kind of goofy actually nowadays at least, but you know, back then it was everything. We got the holo cards. There's like two other outside of like the regular cards with like the signature or whatever. They had these like holo cards. Look at that. I mean, this is 1994, guys. That's pretty sweet. And they had another type of card. I don't know if I have any of those here. Archangel. Got Thor. Gambit. Rogue. Galactus. Colossus. Sabretooth. Deadpool. Jubilee. Never really see her past the show, but she was cool in the 90s X-Men show. Firestar. Green Goblin. Rhino. Red Skull. Man, Red Skull was part of one of the first Marvel movies. It was a Captain America movie where Red Skull was the bad guy. I thought that movie was so good. I watched it like a few years ago again, and oh my god, was that the worst movie ever. But, you know, all things are relative, of course. Exodus. Some of these are just random cards, you know, at my elementary school back then, people just had cards from wherever, and if they looked cool, I traded them for it. I have no idea what this set is, but it's a Super Golden Carnage. Just looks really cool. Spider-Man's. Got Visions. Thanos. That is such a cool one. Thor. Magneto. Ah, the Man! Silver Surfer. That's my favorite. Dr. Doom. Mr. Fantastic. Iron Man. Weapon X Wolverine. It's just a really crazy looking Ghost Rider card. Crazy looking Carnage card again. Awesome Iron Man card. This is like a 1993 Marvel set. I'm not sure what it was called exactly. Probably something here. Marvel 1993. I don't know. These are from a vending machine at Dundas Mall. And they had the full packs though, so you know, have like a mix. Each of these cards combines into, if you're using the big card sleeves in like a binder, you could combine them. I don't know if I have any cards that go beside each other to show you. Strong Guy, Drax, Magneto, Captain America. I have like a ton of cards in there somewhere, and I could show you. But basically, you know, you'd have like Captain America there, and then you can see he's like the corner card. Is he corner card? Yeah, I think he's corner card. He's got like a green, red ribbon at the top and red on the side there. So he's like in the corner there. You can get a bunch of other cards. Leviathan, a few magic cards that were really memorable to me. I try to make a themed Minotaur deck, and I really like Tangarth. It's very underrated actually, but they're pretty bad. Scorioworm. For some reason, I really like this card. I really like cards with big stats when I first started collecting. I think Scorioworm, if I'm not mistaken, came in one of the starter decks. Anyway, I think it was the first starter deck that I bought. Like I said, a lot of the first Magic cards I got were like vending machines or singles, or I traded with friends. It was about the Urza Saga block that I started like buying packs and starters and stuff. It's a promo Hammer of Bogarden. Really, really cool card. Second Chance, Confiscate. Love those type of cards. Warrior and Core. Oh, this had to be my first good deck. I played a White Weenie Imperial Armor Encore First Strike deck, and it was an absolute monster. Oh, there's Imperial Armor in my middle school. Longbow Archer, yeah, that was part of it. Super, super strong card to buff. That's the Armageddon. One time I bought a championship deck. You can't Can't actually play these cards, but they're cool. And they were cheap. Whatever. See, you can't play them because they got that card back thing. Where's this from? 1998 World Championship deck from Seattle. Okay. Ancient Silverback. I really like this card. Really like the art of it. Thorn Elemental, same thing. A lot of the Urza's cards just look so amazing. They kind of dropped since then, but whatever. Pouncing Jaguar. It's another really cool looking card I use a lot. Really like the Overrun decks. So cool. Rain of Tears. Minion of the Wastes. Played a lot of the Cater Overlord. I have a lot. I think if I have the most complete set, it is Mercadian Masks. I don't know why, but I have a lot of those cards. I think I'm only missing like a couple. So there's that. The original Karn, and the original Thrawn. I had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 different promos of each of those. So pretty cool. Well, I mean, that's obviously not it, but that is the gist of it. I have, oh, that's a cool card. There we go. This is the Marvel Versus cards. Foil 1, Wolverine. I tried the game. It was getting a bit popular at my local card shop, and it was Marvel, so I'm like, okay, take my money. But, yeah, they stopped playing it. The cards are cool, but they weren't like epic, man. Like, you know, these cards are epic, dude. Look at that. This is like a gigantic painting that they made for each individual card. Man, make them like they used to. Anyway, that's what I got. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, right? In the end, I kind of stopped playing Magic about the time I was in university. So, you know, like 8-9 years ago. Just didn't really have much time for it. I still played online with my friends on like Magic Workstation and stuff, but I wouldn't go out to like buy anymore. Like I mentioned, the main reason I fell off with Magic is it just felt like a waste of time. I'd spend so many hours, like, you know, getting the cards and putting them to sleeve and trying out the decks and stuff. But when it came to actually playing them in real life, it wasn't happening. And yeah, when some of the big online card games showed up, like Hearthstone, I just fell in love with it because, I mean, yeah, it doesn't have the complexity of Magic. It has a whole lot of other issues. You know, all these games have their issues, of course. But the one thing that Hearthstone, a lot of these other new online card games have is if you want to play against someone, you're playing immediately. The accessibility of these games is awesome. And that's what drew me in. Aside from that, I think card games, favorite ones, Chandelier from like 1998. Was it that? No, it was earlier than that even. Anyway, I had to get virtual Windows 98 to actually run it when I was at work as a computer technician a while ago. But that's a different story. I'll leave you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my life through my cards. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.